Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And wow, normally we would have that absolutely famous doctor, world-renowned, hosting the show, 306 Degree of Health, but he's not going to be able to host it today. I know Michelle is a little upset. I am too. How you doing? How you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing good, but we got a surprise for the audience.
Oh, we got a major surprise, and I'll tell you what, this doctor that we got on today is absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to get him on the show. How you doing, Todd? How you doing back in California?
I'm always good. I think I know who this doctor might be.
Oh, man, I tell you what, Todd, we're not going to tell anybody until we lock everything in. Let's lock all the programs in.
Let's do it.
Doctor James J.C. Cooley.
Hello. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I tell you, I'm missing my guest host today because, a couple of things, and I think he kind of changed titles a little bit for today. But kind of missing him. And I tell you what, this guy does some incredible things. But we got somebody filling in for him that I believe is just as incredible. Maybe not at the exact same level, but he's an absolutely fantastic doctor. So Michelle, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm going to introduce this doctor that we have on the show today, so you can't ruin the surprise.
I won't ruin the surprise, but I'm a little sad right now. But I tell you what, Michelle, can you please introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this surprise guest that you done lined up?
Yes, the title of today's show is 360 Degree Health, holiday stress. It is your choice. And we're having a sit-down conversation with Dr. Michael Mantell. Woo-hoo! He's our guest for today. He's a cognitive behavioral coach, keynote speaker, guest lecturer, and author, a pioneering mental health professional, psychologist, coach with over 4 decades of transformative impact in healthcare, law enforcement, and wellness sectors. Initially serving as chief psychologist at Children's Hospital, he championed the integration of psychological health principles through media outreach while maintaining a commitment to research-anchored wellness advocacy. In 1980, he established a groundbreaking psychological services department for the San Diego Police Department, developing innovative models for PTSD treatment and stress prevention programs, serving both law enforcement professionals and their families. As an early architect of behavioral scientists in the American Council on Exercise, he played a pivotal role in shaping the emerging fields of health coaching and extended these evidence-based approaches in the International Council on Active Aging. Through these roles, he has consistently demonstrated a commitment to integrating psychological well-being into various professional sectors, creating lasting positive impact on individual and organized health. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Michael
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
How you doing, Dr. Mike?
I was beginning to wonder, who is this surprise guest?
Hey, normally you on this side as well as the guest co-host of this. But guess what, Doc? Today, Michelle and I get a chance to, kind of ask you some questions, not necessarily an interview or nothing like that. But we are going to educate our viewers and our listeners on holiday stress. And as you always say, stress sometimes is brought on by the individuals because of the thought process and things that not even in their purview to be worrying about, but many of us do that, especially during the holidays, where we think sometimes, oh, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, I got to get this gift, I got to do this, I got to do all these things, all this stuff. Me, personally, Doc, I don't think all that is necessary. First of all, one thing, me for his gifts and all that, Michelle would tell you, I can take it or leave it. I can be happy with, if she just brought me an ice cream cone, I would be happy about that. So my question to you starting out is, why do people have holiday stress? I know you deal with a lot of patients that be freaking out about stuff like that when it's not necessary.
So I'll tell you, first of all, it's an honor to be on this side. And if you saw how many notes I have prepared for this incredible interview that you two are going to do, I feel like I got to protect myself here today. But no, it's really is a joy to talk about stress prevention and stress management. I always like to say, why should we treat something when we can prevent it from happening in the first place? So let's talk about this. You said, you answered your own question. You said, people think we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do it. We gotta. The gotta is the problem. The holiday is not the problem. The dinner is not the problem. The gifts, it's what we think about those things that creates the problem. Back in, I think it was 1846, there was a woman who was the editor of a book called Godey's Lady's Book. Her name was Sarah Josefa Hale. And she actually advocated for Thanksgiving to become a national holiday way back in 1846. She said it would unify the country. And she was right. And the reason she thought that was because it included people and of all backgrounds, all traditions. It was not tied to a religious practice of any kind, but there's no other purpose other than to sit down with family and friends and be thankful. And be basically what she said is family, food, and gratitude. Remember, it's Thanksgiving. It isn't thanks getting. And so if we can really think about this, we start off by asking ourselves, when it comes to any stress, but holiday stress right now in particular, what am I telling myself that's making me feel stressful? Get this and you got everything else. Number one, I'm telling myself it must be a certain way. They must think this. I must do that. Number two, it's going to be terrible if it's not the way I think it should be. And I will not be able to bear it. When you think that, you're creating more stress about the meal, the turkey, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, the gravy, the apple pie, the salad, the pumpkin pie, than is really necessary. So let me suggest that there are 4 simple things that are really important when it comes to the holiday. Let me start with that at the headline up on top. Number 1 is safety. Right now, we live in a crazy world. We have to create a space where we really feel secure in our own head. We're not blasting ourselves, criticizing ourselves, demanding rigidly that things must be a certain way. So let's create safety. Number 2, comfort. Comfort. It's okay to prioritize moments that bring you peace. It's a holiday. A warm blanket, a favorite book, music. Let yourself rest. Leave yourself alone. Number 3, closeness. Surround yourself with friends. JC, if you and Michelle and Paul and I were in the same geographic area, we would just be kicking back and whatever is good, we'd enjoy. We surround ourselves with people who lift us up like you do. And lastly, understanding. We would embrace patience and kindness, both for others, but mostly for ourselves. Let's take a chance. Let's take a time, an opportunity just to be kind to ourselves. That's what this holiday can be all about. And that's how we get off to a healthy, positive start.
That's how we get off to a healthy, positive start. But I got so excited about you being on the show. I did not even tell our viewers out there about the platforms that we're on right now that they can watch us from or radio. I tell you what, we got this absolutely fantastic doctor. This is our 51st show together. I'm talking about just 360-degree health. That's crazy. I mean, that's fantastic. That's successful. If you want to be part of this conversation, whichever platform that you might be watching us on, was it E36 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, over 68 live platforms, welcome to the show. Now, if you want to be part of the show, all you have to do is go to the comments on the platform that you're watching us on, or we also syndicate on the radio, KCBQ AM 1170, The Answer FM 96.1. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Because Dr. Mantell got so much that we're going to cover today, and we would love to have you as part of the show, asking questions and just letting us know what you think. What do you think about that, Dr. Mike? Tell them that they can be part of the show.
Absolutely. They are part of the show. And we don't want to wonder what you're thinking about. We want to hear what you're thinking about. So raise questions and help this interviewer out. Ask some good questions, and we'll get some answers for you.
That's right. So what we're going to do right now, Dr. Mike, is we're going to take a station break. But we're going to come back because we got so much more to cover, especially when it comes to holiday stress. A lot of people out there are stressing already, and they don't even have to. But when they hear the good doctor lay some things out, and that might put them at ease. So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a station break. But remember, it's your life, and we'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
A black man's point of view.
The James
James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Hello. Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I tell you what, we got definitely one of Michelle and I most favorite individuals on this earth. I say earth, the whole earth. And that's Dr. Michael Mantell. And I tell you what, all to go, straight up, just a wonderful, wonderful individual. And you know what? Behind every good man, there is an absolutely wonderful woman. So hey, Doc Mike, we know who keep you in line.
Right. Paul is listening, so be careful. And you're right.
So one of the things we're talking about today is holiday stress. And it's your choice on whether you want to stress out or not. A lot of times, just like what Dr. Mike and I have talked about, is you don't have to. And so, Dr. Mike, my question to you is, what are some of the signs, early signs of stress, while people are trying to prioritize certain things and they maybe a million things going on with the kids and this and that, and people coming to visit, that not only do it become stressed out, but sometimes you might need some mental help agent or somebody to help you out. Can you talk about that so people might not make it to that stage because you already identify some of the early signs?
Absolutely. When we talk about emotional distress, we go from the green zone, which is, I'm a little concerned about how it's going to go, all the way to I'm frozen in anxiety or depression, and I can't even get out of bed to make this holiday work. So we look at the earliest signs. What are they? The physical signs can be fatigue or headaches or muscle tension, or I'm not sleeping well, or I'm not eating well. But then there are emotional changes too. I'm just beyond concerned, I'm overwhelmed. I am just so irritable and anxious. I can't even think straight. I have a sense of dread about what's going to happen as I create this party or we go to the party. And then I have what we call cognitive signs, the way I think. I can't concentrate. I'm having a hard time making decisions. I keep forgetting things. Some people are continuously worried about finances or the way the family is going to get together, and they're going to debate politics or the time constraints. And then we have what are called behavioral clues. These things like are procrastinating, or I have got a lot of shopping to do, but I can't do it. I'm avoiding that. Or even overindulging in food or alcohol or sleeping too much. So those are some of the early warning signs. And there's some things that we can do to begin to alleviate those early warning signs. And go ahead. What were you going to say, Michelle?
No, I'm listening. And I was just thinking that you mentioned the shopping, whether it's a grocery store or shopping for Christmas gifts. What about when family comes into town, having them stay at your house, the cleaning of the house, making sure everyone is being taken care of? And that goes to my next question. Wow. What about the power of just saying no, or we're not able to do it? Can you kind of go into that?
Yeah, absolutely. We sometimes think I don't have a right to say no. I have to say yes to everybody because if I say no, they're not going to like me, and they have to like me. It's wrong of me if I put up my own boundaries and I don't accommodate what they want. That's a very difficult way to be thinking.
Wow. And as we know, our homes are our castle. So when you do have company, even though you enjoy them, it really is a lot sometimes, your space, making sure you're always available. Why is it important? And there's a lot of people who go on vacation during the holidays, just get away from it all. How important is it to again, prioritize
yourself.
Say what you want to do.
Very important, because when you say yes to everything, why don't you have the party this year? Hey, we're all going to come out and visit and stay with you. We'll just crowd in. Oh, sure, everything's good. And I want you to make this, and this because I can't eat that. Yeah. And you're making yourself crazy. You risk burning out. Mm-hmm. And we know that burnout impacts your ability to really enjoy the holidays and really savor the beauty and be filled with gratitude, because you're filling yourself up with resentment instead. So much for gratitude, so much for thanksgiving. You got more anger in you than anything else. So you got to clarify what's really important to yourself. A lot of my sessions that I'm having with my clients now, I'll talk with them about what's really important to you. And they'll say, just hanging out. I don't need a big party. I don't need fancy this. I just want to focus on what I enjoy doing, but I can't because my mother is coming to town, my family. Unfortunately, you're putting yourself second. Can I tell you real quickly an analogy? It's beautiful. I'm not sure where we are with time, but real quickly. You and I are walking through the desert. You have your water bottle and I have my water bottle. You have exactly the amount of water you need to get through this adversity, and I have exactly what I need to get through my adversity. And we're walking, we're singing, we're having a good time, and I trip and I fall, and the water bottle goes up and spills out, and I have no more water left. What's your obligation to me? If you have exactly the amount of water you have to live to get to the other side of the desert, what is your obligation to me?
Well, some would say, share your water bottle.
Share and die. If you share, you die.
Oh, gotcha.
If you share, you die too. Philosophers, wise men, clergy, the sages have looked at this for centuries and centuries. And they say, be kind to me, sit with me, maybe give me a sip of your water, but you are not under any obligation to die. You're there to comfort, to help, to be kind, but not at your cost of living. So I would say in similar ways to answer your question, practice saying no with compassion. Be kind and honest. I really appreciate the invite, but I need to focus on some other things this year. Thank you for thinking of me. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out this year. No, thank you is enough. I don't have to hurt myself in the process of knowing how to say no. And then I got to prepare for the reactions I'm going to get, the guilt and all the other stuff people are going to put on me. But I'm not going to fall for that. I set my boundaries as early as I possibly can. I communicate those expectations early on. Hey, mom, dad, brother, sister, whoever, friends, this year we're not going to have that same big, beautiful dinner. You know, we're sort of laying back this year. So I want you to, ahead of time, don't expect anything grand. And replace guilt with gratitude. Express appreciation. Focus on what you can do, what you will do, and practice self-compassion. That's the key.
And it's so important to make sure that you don't commit to something. You know, sometimes people want an answer now. There's always on their timetable now. I'll think about it, because if you commit to something and you say, yes, we'll do it, and change your mind, et cetera, it's like, oh, they're going to go back and say this. So be mindful. You don't have to agree to something right away. Or if you are visiting relatives or friends, you don't have to stay at their house. You know how you like your routine, how you like to your me time, you and your spouse's me time. You can stay at a hotel where you won't be put out or feel obligated to stay up. And I'm sorry to say it this way, and sometimes tolerate behavior that's just going to upset you.
It sounds like you're talking from experience, Michelle.
No.
No, I'll tell you. What about the other side? People who insist you stay with them, but you like your space. I want to stay in a hotel. Oh, why? Our house isn't good enough for you? No. Honestly, we just like our privacy and our space. So treat yourself as a friend. Know when. Don't stay in the house just because they insist you do that. What are the benefits of saying no? By declining what doesn't serve you, you'll have more energy for the people and activities you care most about. Set a positive example. When you show people how you set up positive, healthy boundaries, other people are going to do the same. And there's a mutual respect.
You mentioned mutual respect, and it have to be there because I believe that a lot of people just assume or stand with you or whatever that is, and they forget about the things that you already have set that you do, and they come in and try to change that, and it doesn't relate to what you're doing, and you guys looking at each other. I'm talking about Michelle and I, like, no, they didn't do that. But can you talk a little bit? We got about a minute before the break. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that your point is a good point. I would summarize it this way. Do you care more about what they think, or do you care more about what you think? The other people's thoughts don't define me over the holidays or any other time. I define me. And as much as you and I may think Todd defines us, he doesn't. We define ourselves. So yeah, be kind to yourself. Learn how to say the value of saying no, but do it respectfully and with compassion.
And you know what? We're going to take a station break, but I like what you just said. And but what defines us is what defines us. And like I always say, Doc, is we have a lot of influences, outside influences, have a lot of opinions, a lot of or you need to do this, you need to do that. If that doesn't define you, that's not going to make you happy. I tell you what, we're going to take a station break. If you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Or you can go to the platform that you're watching this on, ask any question from the comment that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
On and everywhere.
Listen up, it's Dr. J.C. Cooley. Yeah. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Hey. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. J.C. Cooley. Hey.
City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by Dr. James Cooley on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
Listen up, it's Dr. J.C. Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, listening to this absolutely fantastic doctor right here. You know what? He does this every day, and you are getting some information free. I mean, you get information free, and if I were you, I'd take heed. I would pour all of this information that this great doc is offering you. And I tell you what, all you have to do is just look up, and I know Mike is going to get mad at me. If you want to know who this guy is, just look him up. Dr. Michael Mantell. And I'm gonna leave the doc. Don't cuss me out. Don't beat me up for putting it out there like that. One of the top in the world, and he giving you free information. And I tell you what, I just hope you lock in. Before we even go back to the other question, I want to just the listeners, the viewers out there. Hey, James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. We've been on the air KCBQ AM 1170 Answer FM 96.6 years. And we also on the air on iHeartRadio, Spotify, over 68 live platform. We are in need for sponsors right now because we want to continue to bring you this great message. And we sponsors that come and support us, we'll take care of you too. We'll do individual commercials. We'll have you on the show. We'll promote your product. Not only will you be on the radio, but you'll be on all 68 platforms at no additional charge. If you want to know a little bit more about this, all you have to do is just, I'm telling you, I put my information out there. You can call me at person 1-817-729-6272. Or you could send me an email, jamescooley145@gmail.com. We're going to stay on the air. We want sponsors like you guys to come and step in and help us out, especially with our Wednesday show, all the shows. But Wednesday shows is 360-degree health, top docs in the world. Dr. Mike, I'm sorry if I had to throw that info commercial in there. So
very important. Very important. I mean, we've had 50 of the best physicians, healthcare professionals, mental health, every specialty over the course of the year. We have given away more information. And, we'd be great to have physicians say, hey, I want to get on. I know the show is going to help me and my patients. Imagine if you're a doctor and you tell your patients, I'm going to be on 360-degree health. It's an opportunity. Don't pass it up. I really
let me put this out here like this, Doc. If we get a corporate sponsor for 360-degree health, we will have a show called The Doctors. I mean, not like not like what I don't want to copyright nothing like that. But we will come up with it, and where we have folks can call in and ask, Doc, you'll select 2-3 doctors or whatever that is, and we'll sponsor. People can call in live, ask questions, boom, 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 and we'll go from there. Just think about that a little bit, Doc. I know you're saying you asking me this on the air.
That's great.
That's how we do things, Doc.
Yeah. We pivot easily, but and pivoting is a sign of emotional well-being. It's called resilience. So let's do that.
We're gonna continue to be on the air regardless. Hey, but Doc, let's go back into what we were talking about today. We're talking about holiday stress. It's your choice, meaning individuals, everybody. But one thing I did not ask you, Doc, is when people are experiencing these things. I mentioned mental health. How do they go about prioritizing mental health and well-being during the holidays? As we talked about it, so many different things going on, and I'm not talking about I'm talking about taking care of oneself.
Right. Well, think about this. Families have lots of hardship today, and getting together with family members who voted this side or voted that side, or who believe in this or believe in that. For some people, that serves as triggers. They become emotionally aroused. And the holidays are a time when many look forward to time off, enjoyment, and relaxation, and others are just full of anxiety, full of depression, sadness, worry, fear. The key, I believe, is to look inside of yourself and recognize your needs. Know what you really need. Now, sometimes you may think, what I need is space. I need them not to come. But maybe it's because you're telling yourself a story about what you think is going to happen when they come, and thinking that shouldn't happen. It would be horrible and I couldn't stand it. So for a lot of people that I'm talking to now, in preparation for the next week and month ahead, we're beginning to burst through those stories, to put their own mental well-being up front. How can I think rationally, logically, truthfully, accurately? Instead of making up a story how bad it's going to be and I won't be able to tolerate it, maybe it'll just be difficult and you won't like it, but you can tolerate it. So check in with yourself regularly. Mental health means having realistic, flexible expectations. Simplify your traditions if that's what you like, or embrace imperfection. Imperfection, you mean it's not going to be perfect? Doesn't have to be, unless you tell yourself that. But if you tell yourself it's got to be perfect, you're up for something that's not going to be very good. So prioritizing your mental well-being means knowing what your mental well-being is all about, communicating those boundaries well, practicing self-care, planning ahead, of course, and mostly focusing on gratitude and joy. Gratitude and joy. If you can manage your family dynamics right after this election, putting gratitude and joy ahead of everything else, you'll get through this just fine. You'll get through it well.
Wow.
Gratitude is so important, especially, in this day and age, that there are people out there who are people pleasers. And they're just naturally people pleasers. And, regardless if they do have gratitude and joy, it bothers them when someone is upset with them. So for those people who are the people-pleasing type, what is your recommendation besides, taking care of their own mental health being on how to deal with somebody's disappointment towards them for them not embracing their idea of what they want that person to do during the holidays?
Well, what I would say is very quickly, they're entitled to have their opinion, and I'm entitled to have mine. I don't have to buy into their opinion. They don't define me. I'd like it if everyone agreed and everyone was happy with what I did, but that's outrageous. Not everybody in this world is going to approve of what I do and what I say and what I like. So I work on my own mental well-being, making myself comfortable with that, understanding they don't have to, they should not, they must not. And I can let them off the hook and let myself off the hook.
I like that.
You mentioned, and you also talked about mindfulness. I know we only got about a minute before this, but real quickly, can you just focus on mindfulness playing a significant role in expectations? Meaning, I believe sometimes we have to change our mindset.
Right. Mindfulness means that we take a moment and we stop. We are aware of our own thoughts, our own feelings that are created from our thoughts. And we understand how when I pay attention to what I think, I can respond better to whatever the situation is. Let's get into that more after this break, perhaps.
Wow. This is so important. And this is the right time to be having this discussion, Dr. Mike. And I know we're helping so many people out there. I mean, helping me and Michelle. And we're not majorly stressed out about it, but all those that are out there listening, I know that we're helping them out as well. Tell you what, if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. What's that number, Michelle?
1-888-344-1170.
Dr. Mike, what is that number?
1-888-344-1170.
It's your life.
It's your life.
And we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
And realization that life would never be the same, Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
The James Cooley Show.
Hello. Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. Welcome back. And I tell you, this is an absolutely wonderful, fantastic show. I think it's greatly needed. And it's needed for many reasons of what we're talking about right now. And Dr. Mike, I tell you, we got a question for Dr. Mike. We got a couple of callers on the line.
Let's hear it.
It's Shirley.
Hello there.
Hi, Shirley.
Hello there. I have a question. Could you go into what would be reasonable expectations of the husband around duties, around getting things ready around the house and things to get it nice? What would be reason? Because I expect a lot out of him because I am kind of bossy, and but I learned don't have expectations. But now I've just learned this new word, reasonable expectations. So help me with that.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, the first principle is, husband, listen to your wife. Happy wife, happy life. So tell your husband that I said that, and he can call me and yell at me. But no, I think it's important that you have reasonable preferences, not expectations so much. Ditch, get rid of the shoulds, and he must be this way, he should be that way. Having been privileged for 5 decades of helping people disturb themselves less, it's very clear to me, Shirley, that the musts and the shoulds, and he has to do this, put you on the fast track for stress. So make a request. If he's smart, he'll follow, and he'll be glad and be grateful for the opportunity to be of help to a loving wife such as yourself. And if he doesn't like that, give him my number and have him give me a call.
So it's
Thank
not
Shirley.
reasonable expectations. You want me to use reasonable
reasonable preferences. Absolutely.
I forget PER preferences. Okay.
Yeah. And you can write to me and be in touch with me anytime. Dr. Dr. Mantell at me me.com. Happy to answer more questions for you.
Hey, thank
Hey,
you.
Shirley,
dear.
thank you so much for that question. That was so important. Hey, Todd, do we have anybody else on?
Not at the moment.
Hey,
Okay.
Todd, it's now your time. Hey, how you feel about the show so far, man? Come on, talk to me.
Well, Dr. Mantell is always great. Every Wednesday is always a great show. And this is a great one for everyone to listen to. I'm going to listen back to it. And I think it's sad that sometimes something that's so happy, like getting with the family, can be a miserable time for people. But I think if you listen to Dr. Mantell's advice and you're mindful about going into the holidays and what you need to do, then it can be a happy one. So a great show, perfect for the season.
Remember, there's no rule that says you must make a perfect meal. Everyone should get along. There's no rule book saying that your stuffing has to win the award, or that Uncle Bob is not going to be allowed to talk about politics. Replace these rigid expectations with preferences. I like it. I prefer everything to go smoothly, but if it doesn't, it's okay too. I have some other quick tips for you guys. Number one, embrace imperfection. Guess what? You're human. You're not a Pinterest board. We're just human beings. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa does not have to be flawless. There's no such thing as flawlessness. We are imperfect human beings. Perfect, I guess, in our own way. And even if the pie burns, it's not a disaster. It's just unfortunate. We'll find something else to eat. Then, number 3, pause, breathe, and reflect. In the whirlwind of all this cooking and hosting and planning, you can forget. Sometimes you can neglect yourself. You have so much to be thankful for. Just think about this. When someone's lying on their deathbed, they're not going to be saying, oh, I wish that pie was perfect. They're going to be saying, why didn't I spend more time being grateful for the moments I was alive? Prepare for emotional curveballs. Family dynamics stir up a lot. They voted this way, you voted that way. If Sarah's comments about your mashed potatoes push your buttons, remember, it's not her words, but your belief about those words. I can accept the opinion without it defining me. Then focus on connection, not control. I don't control anybody. I just want to connect to people. I love to connect. At its heart, that's what Thanksgiving is really about, connection. It's not control. We don't need to micromanage, whether it's a mismatched table setting or a loud family debate that's going on too loud. Appreciate the moments for what they are: messy, imperfect, and beautifully human. You do those things, you've got a beautiful holiday ahead of you.
I like that because it's basically saying let people be themselves. As long as they're respectful and considerate, just let them be themselves. Example, if the drink is not on a coaster, don't have a fit about it. And also, one more thing I want to add, Dr. Mantell, find your quiet place when you need to decompress, whether it's in the bathroom or someplace else.
Wow. You know, I tell you what, we down to less than 2 minutes of the show, but Homerich, Hannah, like Dr. Mantell, I really needed this show. Thank you.
Homage, Hunter. Swap perfectionism for self-compassion and rigid rules for flexibility. And I promise you'll have a magnificent holiday season.
Wow. Dr. Mike, you know what? We have to do this a little bit more often. I'm talking about, I know we do 360
degrees. Yeah,
we're going to do that. But sometimes I think what we're doing right now is also appealing to our audience and our viewers. And I hope we get the sponsors. We need sponsors to continue to do this because this is absolutely fantastic. So, Dr. Mike, I want to thank you so much. Always, my friend, always. For
thank you.
Being a part of what we do. I mean, you make this so much greater and better for Michelle and I. So thank you. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. She put a lot of work in this, and most people only see the final product. I'd like to thank our studios back in California, La Jolla, San Diego, however you want to put it, KCBQ, AM 1170 Answer, FM 96.1 The Answer, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all these other platforms. Thank you. I'd like to thank, most importantly, our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.